All right, we're recording.
Are we recording?
Yes.
Ah, gosh, dude,
I'll give you
this guy.
something to record.
Take your pants off, buddy. Can we put this on?
Yeah.
All right. Hey, welcome back,
Oh, shit.
everybody.
Oh,
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. All right. Do we know what we're gonna do? Interesting gamblers
Yes,
today.
so we have interesting gambler stories
Yes.
over the years, and we'd like to. We'd like to.
Here's an interesting gambler story, not actually them playing.
Mm-hmm.
We used to have a guy that used to come in the Gold Coast, and he was a taxidermist, and he would collect hair from different animals
Wow.
and wear it on his head, walking around.
There.
And I don't mean like like a bear rug, you know how they
Yeah.
do the muskrat hats, like the David Bowie. Nothing like that. I'm talking like patches of hair that he cut off, somehow glued together, and just boom.
This is the part where Nick, you got to take David, and then put a raccoon.
Perfect.
Thing on him.
I'd love that. I'd love that. I would walk around with
What
that.
about like a zebra? Zebra skin.
Oh, fantastic. I could use a zebra
Perfect.
skin.
While he has a dog filter on him from Snapchat.
Oh my God, this guy over here. See, this is crazy. This is what I have to put up with over here. It's terrible. All right, go on. So what is your interesting person story?
So when Cosmo first opened, there was this guy. He's a private software developer, Joe something. Maybe Cosmo people can. So at Cosmo, he would come a couple times a year, twice a year, whatever. And basically, he made so much money that his accountant basically told him that he actually had to blow a certain amount of money this trip.
Oh, fantastic. I need that problem.
So he would literally come in and we're like, Joe, he'd literally be like, yeah, so my accountant told me that I have to lose $500,000 this weekend.
Oh my God, oh my God.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Blows and hose.
So the best tip,
That's gonna be
also too, by the
hashtag.
way, the best tip I ever had was at Cosmo because he would bet 25,000 a hand. Obviously, the dealers had a certain limit. You get a certain limit. You can't bet 25,000 a hand for a dealer. But he would literally bet it and then just give us, if it wins, he would just throw us $50,000.
Wow, that's nice.
It was really nice.
He had to lose
Dude, the cocktail waitress at the pool would get a $15,000 tip, and then he would have like
$50,000 tip.
15
15
or whatever. He would go to the pool, just hang out at the pool, have some drinks, give you $10,000 tip. Go everywhere he goes, give him $500 tips here and there. He would literally have to blow $500,000 a trip, and on top of that, he would have a couple courtesans with them.
A what? Cortisone? Escorts.
No, not cortisol, not like the shot.
No, escorts. Like an
Yeah.
escort.
Yeah.
I get you.
Female companions.
Oh, yeah.
It was very nice.
Yeah, there's a lot of those.
He had a train full of that.
So could he win? Was he allowed to win? What happens if he won?
Well, he would win, but the problem is
He'd have to give it all back,
Yeah,
right?
his thing is he just
Had to
wanted,
lose.
he had to lose it.
Oh, that's
What a nice
terrible.
problem to have.
No, that's a fantastic problem to have. I know there's a lot of people that help him solve that problem very quickly.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, yeah,
Right.
okay.
All right, so for those of you who, so if you like Wendy's, you're gonna want to look away from your screen right now because I got a Wendy's story. Dave Thomas.
He's dead, so he can't sue
Yeah,
us.
he's dead, so he can't
that's
sue
all
us. I think he was into suing back in the day. But anyway, so Dave Thomas. So this isn't so much an interesting gambler as it was sort of an interesting situation, okay? I'm at a busy game. It's at the Rio, $25 table. Not even that cap game. The cap game, I think, was like at $100. I hadn't yet made it to that table. You're right, $25 game. Dave Thomas comes up, doesn't say a word, just looks down. Okay, I'm on second base actually. For those of you who know second base, so he just puts his hands on the table, and I'm looking, and I'm like, it's actually a thinner version of the Dave Thomas you saw on TV, a little heavy set.
Yeah.
He was actually kind of thin. I mean, it was thinner, but I could tell by his face. Took me a second, but Dave Thomas. Okay, he didn't look up, looked down, had his hands together like this, just looking down. Next thing you know, there's this guy comes up next to me, and he starts whispering in my ear. He goes, "It's Dave Thomas." I'm like, oh God, this is gonna be a little cray-cray right here. Because it's amazing. So a lot of the interesting stories we have are literally just these gamblers with all sorts of entitlement. Like the minute you get any money or fame, you just goes right to your head and you're just stupid. You know what I mean? I mean, dude, there's stories of that because we both adult at high-limit casinos, and I mean, it's like everybody wants to be treated differently, different colors, and they don't want the red M&Ms or they want the white cow. You know what I mean? It just gets so silly. So this guy's whispering in my ear, it's Dave Thomas. I'm like, okay, so like I'm dealing here. I got stuff to do. He's like, yeah, he wants to play. I'm like, okay, so I mean, he's sitting there. Why doesn't he just break out his money and play?
Yep.
And he's like, well, can you get me your boss? And I'm like, Oh God. Did I look at the guy the wrong
offend
way?
him?
Like, he hasn't even been there but like 2 minutes. You know what I mean? There's nothing I could have possibly done to offend this guy quite yet. But anyways, so my boss comes up, my pit boss comes up, not a floor supervisor, pit boss, right? He comes up and he's like talking to this guy. And my pit boss was one of these real like matter of fact. He was an old school boss. He didn't put up with any crap. He'd walk off. It doesn't matter who you were. $3 million credit line, whatever it is, he'd walk you off the game if he didn't like you. You know what I'm saying?
That's a real casino boss.
No, real. He would back you up every time. He'd be like, look, sir. Anyways, so he's like, oh, yeah, Dave Thomas. Oh, cool. You know, yeah, we'll hook you up. And the guy's like, yeah, Dave Thomas, he wants his own, you know, the side of the game. And so we go, so he's like, oh, yeah, Dave Thomas. So he assumed that because it's like, dude, this is a Wendy's guy, he's going to have, you know, buy in, you know, some big money. He's like, yeah, well, so originally he's like, well, we'll make it a $500 game. And he's like, no, he wants the whole side. You know, he wants to make sure no one comes up to the no one comes up to that side of the table. And he's like, all right, sure, we'll just put the reserve sign in, right? So he puts the reserve sign in the table. This is before the digital age, you know, everything was like, you know. Anyways, so he puts the digital sign in. Meanwhile, this whole time, Dave Thomas has not said a single word to literally anybody. Like his guy, me, he hasn't looked up. He's just sitting there. I mean, it was a little weird, dude. I got to tell you. But anyways, so we put the reserve sign on, and next thing you know, Dave Thomas of Wendy's pulls out
pre-Baconator
$500 and starts $500. My pit bull go, oh hell no. He's like $500. He's like, dude, you can't reserve a side of the table for $500. Like it's like 10 grand. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like, dude, if we'd have set the limit on the sign at 500, that's like one bet, dude. He just wants his own table, $500 total buy it. And meanwhile, again, Dave Thomas has yet to say a word. The valet's guy goes like, dude, it's Dave Thomas, dude. He's like, I don't care if it's the Queen of England. It doesn't matter if it's Dave Thomas. What you keep saying the guy's Dave Thomas. No one cares that it's Dave Thomas. I got Bruce Willis on table one and Nick, you know what I mean? We got all these other celebrities here. The Wendy's guy, less so, for $500. Because, you know, that's a great thing about Vegas, right? You don't need to be famous to get respect. You need, you know, money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You need money or points nowadays, right? So anyway, that's my interesting gambler story. How about that? All right, back to you, sir.
At the Wynn, there was a guy that came in. He was like one of those oil sheiks or something like that. And at the Wynn, he would have an unlimited credit line. It was the first time I've ever heard that.
Wow, really? I've actually never heard that.
He had
unlimited credit line?
Unlimited credit line.
Wow.
And he had a whole floor in the Wynn Tower Villa Suites rented out. And on top of that, his plane was on standby in the executive terminal anytime he wanted to leave. So it was just his crew is just like stationed at the airport, ready to go. And he had an unlimited credit line.
And do you realize the only reason they do that is, by the way, if anyone ever gives you an unlimited credit line, walk out of the casino. Because that means you suck so bad at gambling that they're very comfortable just letting you go to town.
Or you're worth billions
no, that's the whole
billions.
Thing. Kerry Packer was worth tons of money. They didn't give him unlimited because he would crush them. If he had unlimited access to funds, he would crush them. That's how they set these credit lines. They only give you unlimited if they know that you have no chance of winning. Have I ever told you my poker story? It's like that, but go ahead.
Not sure if you guys know this, but my dad is a executive casino host here at a big casino here in town.
Big.
Yep.
Very big.
Bigly.
Bigger than Dottie's, that's all I'll say.
Yeah.
Big.
And one of his recent customers that just played at the casino, he's a billionaire, and they gave him a $1 million credit line.
Yep.
That's like...
no, that's right.
That's like me giving you like, hey, here's 10 cents, go gamble, kid.
Listen, one of these days we're going to fill you guys in on that. So the reason why they do that, the better the player you are, the less the casino's willing to put at risk. Because they know that if you have enough money to gamble, you may literally own the place. Like literally, Kerry Packer, you hear the story about him getting $42 million off a $3 million line? I mean, that's dangerous.
But that's like me pulling out $1 credit. Like they're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have a hard time.
He must be a good player. He's probably a very good player. So they don't want to risk it. I don't blame him.
Yep. So there you go. That's my interesting story. Unlimited credit line.
So we used to have the most interesting stories I have quite literally are when the Pimps and Hose Ball came to town. Fantastic players. Holy smokes. By the way, just so you know. So I tell everybody, like, you know the beads that people put up between their thing? So this was like the Pimps and Hose came to town like in 95, I think it was. Like, this is a long time ago, before your time, young man. But oh my God, it was so fantastic. You'd have the most interesting people ever come to the casino. So the Rio was famous for courtesans, escorts, ladies of the night.
Yep.
You can, yeah.
Female companions.
Yeah, they used to work that center bar, and Rio kind of let them get. I mean, anyways, a lot of them. I mean, we could pick them out in the crowd, dude. They would work that crap pit like this. Just never ending.
Yeah.
Dude. They loved it. So these guys would come over. They would have the girls roll for them. They give them tips. I mean, it's a fantastic day job, dude. I swear to God. $1,000 to get them to go up the elevator, though. That was what we heard. So these girls would show up in beads. They would wear the beads as an outfit. So like literally beads as like. Can you imagine? Just beads.
Yeah, that's nice.
I mean, they would try to like stay. You had to stay perfectly
It's like a medieval.
still.
It's like imagining like you know how they wear like chainmail.
Yeah,
chainmail. But it's like anal beads.
It was anal beads. Yeah, they were advertising.
Perfect.
That's what it was. How did you know? Did I tell you the
just
story?
a guess.
Oh
No,
my God.
no, just a
anal
guess.
beads. So, anyways, a string of them.
It's like a panda wizard.
What was so funny is you should see them walking. They were walking very sort of stilted because obviously. Eventually, they were asked to leave the casino at the time, and then one of those girls, I'm not sure if it was the same girl. That sort of runs into the Dennis Rodman story because that happened sort of like the same. I think it happened like the same day.
Wow.
But that's on Patreon, by the way. That's interesting. I don't even know if they gambled. I'm pretty sure they gambled. So interesting people at the casino story.
I got one more for you. It's
more.
a little bit on the filthy side.
Oh my God, really?
Okay. Yeah, this one I was actually gonna do it in our next video, which is like the worst gamblers, like our douchiest. But I feel like this is so interesting. So this guy, he is part owner of a very, very popular hotel chain brand here. Very popular. Like he's filthy rich. Filthy rich.
Oh, okay.
Okay? He's filthy rich.
That's a good
He knows a lot. He basically, just to let you know, he basically was the boss of somebody else high up at Cosmo. That's how much this guy is like worth and
money,
he's filthy
rolling
rich.
in it.
Filthy rich.
Yeah.
He comes to Vegas to play, and you would think like, okay, let's pretend like you're car shopping, right? You're like Lamborghini, Maserati, you know, like you have all these different car selections. He's like, no, I'll take the Ford Fiesta in the back right there. That was him with regards to his women's selection.
Oh my God.
He doesn't like the hot ones. He'll come into the casino and he loves
What's wrong with a Ford Fiesta?
Okay, first...
There's a lot of people out there driving around a Ford Fiesta.
I drive a hatchback, but if I had millions of
funny.
dollars, I wouldn't be driving a hatchback. So this guy comes to Cosmo. When I worked at Cosmo, would play. Everybody knows, all the casinos. If I say his name to any high-limit dealer, they immediately know. He loves 3 and 4s out of 10s. It was the weirdest thing. He would have a hoe train. It was a mediocre. Hoe train. It was the weirdest thing I've ever seen. These girls were literally.
All right, that's it. We're demonetized. That's all I was doing.
4s out of 10. It was the weirdest thing.
I mean, who are you to judge? Maybe they were 10s to him.
I'm not even shaming anything. I'm just saying, if you're going to go car shopping, you literally have millions and billions of dollars, and you're going to pick up the $12,000 Honda Civic.
What's wrong?
The used one.
A used Honda Civic.
A used Honda Civic. This is 2020, right?
10 years
you
old.
pick up like a 2005 Honda Civic.
We've literally gone off the rails. Timmy, save us.
I'm just saying, isn't that interesting to you guys?
I'm so interested. Beyond interested. My hat almost flew off my head. I'm so interested.
Dude, it's like food selection. You're like lobster, caviar. No, dollar menu.
All you can eat. You can mukbang. Hey, you can mukbang those girls. Those are better.
No.
It's all about
dollar
quantity, buddy.
Dollar menu.
Dollar menu.
Hey, you know what the best part is too? I'll even continue. It's so interesting.
Oh, here we go.
He even got jerked off under the table one time by one of them too.
Hey Timmy, good job, buddy. Wow.
Yeah. We weren't even sure. We weren't even sure that that was actually happening.
Wow.
This is getting cut out.
This is gonna get cut out.
Is it gonna get cut out?
What do you think?
So $20,000 is the max bet at Cosmo. This guy one time played Baccarat, and I come up to the game, and this is how he makes his bets.
This one's gonna go viral. This is gonna be our viral video.
It's like this. It's like something like this, and it's like not even like correct.
Wow.
He puts that in the circle, and I'm like, and it hits. Let's say a banker won or whatever. I try to pay. He's like, don't fucking touch my money. I was like, what? And I look at the floor person, these pretend like this $1,000 bets, whatever. So it's like 2, 4, 6, 8, 11, $15,000. So I look at the floor. I'm like, is that okay? He's like, don't fucking touch that money. I was like, okay. So what am I gonna do? So every time I made a bet, I was like, okay, well, let me like recreate this fucking bet here. There's 3. There's 4.
Wow.
Okay, so I have to break it down back again so the camera knows that, okay, this is $15,000. And it was like playtime with chips and shit. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, we don't teach that to break it.
Here we go. There you go, sir.
Oh my god.
And then he did that. That was like every time he bet, he's like, don't fucking touch my money. So every time it was like something different. It was like this. It was like this every time. And I was like, seriously? The floor person's like, yeah, pay it as it. I was like, what? Like, how am I supposed to recreate this?
Oh my god. Oh, dude. This conversation is giving me gas. We better go, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we better go. All right, we're going to sign off. Thank you very much. That's the last chat. Yeah, enjoy.
Hit that like button. Comment below.
We hope
Check
you
out our Patreon.
Comment. Lots of comments. We want to hear your comments about interesting people at the casino stories. Tons of them.
We got celebrity stories, too.
This is part 1 of a many, many part series. All right, see you guys.
See you guys.
Take
Bye.
care. Bye.